I'm live. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Hey, before going further, if the sound's a little off or something, let me know because we're broadcasting from a little bit different location. Welcome aboard Cliff Notes Live, broadcasting from Buffalo, New York. Yeah, I'm here doing some business, but I wasn't going to miss out on a Monday evening. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. We'll talk about Buffalo in a second, but before I do that, first of all, a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV, and I love the reality TV fans, especially you guys that are hanging out with me every Monday night, and those of you who are watching on replay as well. Don't ever want to forget you guys either. Welcome aboard. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Man, I was in Houston. I flew out this morning just after I left. Thunderstorms everywhere. I just beat all the bad weather. Yeah, pretty good here. So we shall see. I'm winging it a little bit. My show manager Sharon is not here, so I'm gonna have to try to read the comments and keep up with it as much as I can. And there's a lot to talk about this evening. So I hope y'all are all doing fantastic. All right, let me start off looking at these comments. Here's the way it normally works. I try to read comments, but I'm so busy talking myself that Sharon normally helps me make sure that I haven't missed too much in terms of the comments and keeps the flow going and all that. No, I'm gonna have to try to talk and read the comments both, so bear with me this evening. But bring the comments on. I do appreciate it. All right, let's see who we've got out here. Right off the bat, we got Mark Taylor. Mark, how are you doing? Yeah, we'll talk Survivor in a second. Marilyn Sutherland as well. Hey, Marilyn. Jake the Horror Movie Geek. Amanda Lowe. Colleen Desiree Watts. Prince Slime 3. Boy, you gotta be on a Nickelodeon show with Prince Slime. When I hear slime, that's all I think about. Hey Prince, how you doing? We've got Ma, how are you doing? Yes, I'm in Buffalo. First time I've ever been in Buffalo. So far, so good. I just got in. That's why I was running a little bit behind, just getting all this set up. I'm just glad the internet's working at the hotel. Ed Brewer, how are you doing, Ed? Let's see who else. JP, JP, how are you? Karen Hummer as well. Hey, Karen. Cindy Hire. Cindy, how are you doing? And let's see. Tammy, Karen Loveland, Tammy Flanagan, and who else? Amanda Lowe. I don't know if I mentioned your name before. I'm mentioning it. Patricia Miller. And let's see. Andy W. Kendra. And I think that's about it. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but I'm trying. So bring your questions. I'll talk about them as much as I can. First of all, yeah, I'm in Buffalo. A little bit of job training going on, learning about some new stuff and everything. I had never been to New York until I came to Nicole's wedding a couple of months ago, I guess now. Really cool. First time I've been to Western New York, Buffalo. Yeah, we're right next to Niagara Falls and all of that. I don't think I'm going to go see the falls, though, because I want to do that with Sharon. I don't want to be just me, and this is a business trip, so I won't be anywhere except a hotel room and some businesses, but that's all right. I'm still able to talk to y'all, it was always a lot of fun. All right, before we go any further as well, if you haven't already done so, there's a lot of reality TV getting ready to kick off, so please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on the notification, and maybe a big thumbs up as well. It is always appreciated. If you turn on the notifications, you'll find out first when I drop a new video. Now, I do this Monday nights, right? I mean, that's pretty much you can count on that, but I may be doing a few extras. We've talked about doing some different flavors of ice cream, like the macaroni and cheese. I'm still going to do it. I just didn't want to do it with the trip coming up. Not that it would make me sick or anything, but I'd hate to be in Buffalo and thinking that maybe macaroni and cheese ice cream wasn't the best decision to make. So we'll do that once I get back. But please consider subscribing to my channel, especially with Big Brother getting ready to hit. They announced the premiere date. What do y'all think about that? Was it July 17th? 2-night premiere. July 17th, July 18th. We don't know whether we'll have live feeds as soon as they move in. I kind of think so. I kind of hope so. Because my season, they didn't have live feeds until we've been in there a week, and you miss so much of the alliances forming and all of that. I really hope they start it as soon as everyone moves in. Gotta say, I mean, I'm glad they're not starting in August like they did last season. Writer strikes done. We're through with that, but still kind of late. My season started June 23rd, something like that, sometime around there. third week of June, somewhere around there like that. This is a little bit later. This means they're going to go into, they won't be into Thanksgiving and all that, but the show will probably still go into October or so. So still a little bit delayed. Maybe that's the new Big Brother. As long as they have the live feeds, I don't ever want them to get to be like Canada did, where you missed out on the live feeds. It's not the same show without it. I don't think I wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much because I just wouldn't feel like I was getting into it as much. All right. I've got some topics that we'll talk about, but let me check some of these comments first. I said howdy to everyone and really didn't look at the questions. So I'm going to try to read through those. If I skip over yours, it's probably just because I'm going fast and I may not have read them all and all of that. So bear with me. All right, Mark Taylor. What do you think of course, Mark's asking about Survivor, and I am happy to talk about Survivor. What do you think of the game of Marie? Who's going to win Survivor with just a few left? They're down to the final 6. Is that not amazing? They've only been out there 21, 23 days. And I'm just getting my feet wet after day 23 to Big Brother house. That was the very beginning of the season. Everything goes so much faster in Big Brother. They're down to the final 6. I gotta say, I've really enjoyed this season. Now, let me say 2 things. First of all, without giving away too many spoilers, and I'm gonna try. I hope most of y'all have caught up by now, but because I'm gonna spoil a little bit anyway. How can you get sent home? Is this four tribal councils in a row that someone got sent home with an immunity idol in their pocket? 3 or 4. For some reason, I'm thinking maybe it's 4, but I know at least 3. Would you think after the first couple, you'd just be a little bit more paranoid that no matter how confident that you are, that maybe you don't know everything that's going on? It is amazing the number of blindsides that we have seen this season with people, good players. I mean, not that just oblivious and you think, well, they didn't deserve to be there anyway. No, good players who got burned because everyone else was so able to convince them that they were safe. Don't worry about it. You're good. We're going after Q. I think Q is responsible for a lot of it. He just threw so much chaos into these tribal councils with the way he has played the game. It's different. People are going to talk about Q for a long time. If he made it to the final 3 and a jury vote, I don't know if I'm a jury casting a vote, if I'm going to give it to Q, because I just feel like he was too ready to give up. Now he'll say that he wasn't. It was all part of a game plan. Maybe he can sell it at the end, but I really think Q maybe has created chaos, but probably hurt his game as well. My 2 big ones at this point in time of who I think probably have the inside track is Marie, Mark, as you mentioned about her game, and then Charlie. They're working well together. As much as they're doing, it still seems like, and then Marie, some people are starting to talk about her a little bit, that maybe she's controlling the game. So she's got to be careful, but I just feel like they're in a good position. They're on good terms with most of the people. I think right now they're playing to lose? I don't know. I feel like they've got the inside track. We'll see what happens. It goes so fast right there at the end. And the whole way they do it, where you got 4 people, 2 people go to the fire making challenge, and then 2 people are already in. Really, in terms of votes, we've only got 1 or 2 left, right? And then it just comes down to who can make the fire and who wins the immunity challenges, or the immunity challenges. So we're right there. Gotta say, I've loved this season. It's been a fun one. So yeah, Mark, I think Marie, I think Charlie, either one of them are in pretty good shape right now. I don't think Q would win it. Ben and Kinsey are kind of uncertain. I don't know how the jury's going to be responding to them, but there you go. I'm really loving this season of Survivor. All right, let's see. Maryland Southern, happy all the moms had happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I didn't want to, as I start talking reality TV, I didn't want to forget Mother's Day. We celebrated Sunday. I hope y'all all celebrated. All kinds of moms in the world. There's all kinds of people who play the role of a mom as well. I hope y'all celebrated, whether you're a mom, you've got a mom, you've got people who acted as moms throughout your life. I hope you had a chance to celebrate it. We played it a little casual at our house. We ended up staying at home. My daughter and son-in-law brought Chinese food over, and we sat around and ate Chinese food. Really good. We were able to miss all the crowds. God, it's packed down here. Between springtime suddenly and weather's decent. We had all kinds of rain, but Sunday wasn't too bad. So everyone's out eating, and we just said, let's just stay at home, have some Chinese food. I love me some good Chinese food. I really love me some good Chinese food. Can't eat it all the time, but we did that for Mother's Day. I hope y'all had fun with it as well. All right, let's see what else is going on. Mark saying about us. All right, we'll just Mark. I'll take your lead. Amazing Race is another one. Hey, I gotta say this Amazing Race not quite as exciting as some of the others because, and I think I mentioned this last week. I've heard, and I think it's true, this Amazing Race was actually filmed before last season's Amazing Race, which was filmed after this one. This one was a lot closer to COVID, which is why we don't see them trying to fight to get on airplanes, get the right flights out, heading out, land a little quicker. They're all on the same airplane, so that makes it a little less exciting. They haven't gone overseas at all. They've been South America, and now they're in the Caribbean, which are cool places to visit, right? Nothing against the places they've been. I just wish it was a little bit more of a worldwide race, but this was done right after COVID. People still getting used to everything, still not real comfortable about the travel and all of that. So I've been a little disappointed in the locations that they've been at so far. Team wise, it's been doing pretty well, but I gotta say, talking about inside track, the two boyfriends, I can't believe I can't remember any of the names of Amazing Race. I just always refer to them as their profession, their relationship, whatever. And I ought to know their names, but you never need to, right? I always the pink team, the boyfriends, the fighter pilots. The boyfriends have won so many challenges. They just so many legs of this race. Every time where I think, well, maybe this is going to be a little different, they still finish right up in the top. So I think it's theirs to lose. Yeah, we're going to see, and I think that's coming up this week, right? The finale. There's so many finales coming up, and I'm here in Buffalo. Thank God for, well, not VCRs; those are a thing of the past, right? But thank God for cloud recordings and all that. I get home, and Sharon and I are just gonna have to binge a whole lot of TV. But yeah, I think with the finale coming up, there's always that one competition where they have a memorization, where they have to remember everyone who competed, flags of the countries, or which competition took place when, things like that. Sometimes teams that really have done well throughout the whole season kind of get flustered on that part and don't do so well. I have a feeling those two boyfriends have been paying attention. They probably are going to do pretty well. So, Mark, I'm kind of picking them as the winner. I think most people probably would, but you never know. At the end of this, it's things can happen. I think they finish up. I think I read somewhere they finish up in Philadelphia, so they're getting ready to come back to the States, and then we'll see how they do. All right, let's see what else we've got on as well. Let's see. Jake, thank you so much for the promotion of my channel. All right, let's see. Get through these. Let's see. All you guys out here, I would love seeing all these names out here. All right, we'll come back up in just a second. Shout out to Cliff in Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Desiree. It's so far so good. All right, let's talk a few other things. Just a random fact. Y'all know today's National Frog Jumping Day. I assume that doesn't mean jumping over frogs. I assume it means more the Calaveras frog jumping, say how far they can jump. Never really been into the frogs so much. Even as a kid, my mom was a science teacher. She raised snakes and guinea pigs and lizards and everything you could possibly imagine was in our house. Don't recall that we ever had a whole lot of frogs in the house. Had a few frog legs over the years, which were pretty good. But I feel bad for the frogs. They're now having to walk around on crutches and all that. No, but National Frog Jumping Day. So hey, if any of y'all have experience with frog jumping, jump right in. How on a roll tonight. But happy National Frog Jumping Day. Yeah, go find you a frog. It is funny down here. Once we get a little rainstorm and all that, you walk out in our backyard, so many frogs, and they're all croaking, riveting, and it sounds like a whole orchestra going on in the backyard, which is kind of fun. Sharon and I go out in the backyard when it's kind of dark. We were looking for the northern lights. None down in Houston. Didn't quite make it that far, but we still set out this weekend and just enjoyed listening to all the frogs, and kind of dark out there, and quiet, and feeling a little bit more back to nature, and all of that. So you know what the National Frog Jump. So there you go. Happy National Frog Jumping. All right, let's see what else we got in here. I'm gonna skip down here pretty quick. See, Sharon, I wish you were here helping me out on this. All right. Hey, Cliff, be willing to embarrass yourself and say, go Bills for my dad who is secretly watching instead of working. All right, Ma. Go Bills. Yeah. Once upon a time before I was a Houston Texans fan, and they've been a Dallas Cowboys fan. Yeah, I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I remember a Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills. I remember the Dallas Stars, I think, having an NHL final against the Sabres as well, if I recall. But go Bills! They've done pretty well here lately, right? Better than the Texans have done. But hey, there's always a new year going on. All right, now Andy W. Sam made it to Nevada for Mother's Day. Well, that sounds pretty cool. 11-hour drive is getting rough as I get older. 11 hours is a long time to be driving in the car. Whenever we go up and visit my mom, the rest of my family from Houston to Dallas, 4.5, 5 hours. I can handle that. Hey, we got Buc-ee's in between. That makes it a lot easier. 11 hours. Yeah, that's dedication. So I'm glad you got to make the trip. All right. So excited. Big Brother's going to be in the summer. Patricia saying, yeah, me too. Nothing against the late fall. I understand there was outside stuff going on that made them have to do that, but I'm ready for some Big Brother. I'm so ready. I guess I need to get my sleep in now for the next month or two until it starts back up. I think, and I may be wrong. Maybe they're still looking at videos, but they've got to be right there at the end in terms of the audition process. They probably have the people more or less picked out who they're probably not decided yet, but they got to have the people more or less picked out who they think are going to get on the top 50 years or something like that. I remember one time they called me, one of the handlers, one of the casting people, and said, Cliff, I just wanted to let you know that we've made some cuts. I'm like, here we go. They said, and we just want to let you know that you're still there. You're in the top 50. I said, all right, top 15 or top 50? They say, yeah, no, you're not that close, Cliff, at top 50. But still, I started thinking about that and said, all right, well, figure 25 guys, 25 women. You'll probably have 8 of each gender in the house. So 8 out of 25, 1 in 3 chance, right? And I figured as the old guy, there couldn't be that many other old guys that they were trying to compete against. Once they told me I was in the final 50 is when I started thinking, all right, maybe there is something to this. Maybe something will turn out. And because that's been the whole audition process, trying not to get too pumped up. Because I just kept thinking, all right, they're going to call. Yeah, I'll enjoy the ride. But eventually they're going to say, yeah, not quite, Cliff. It never happened. Yeah, it just kept on going. So you never know how it's going to work out. But yeah, so they've got to have their eyes on people that they think are going to be great for this season. They've already got their theme figured out. The games people are figuring out what kind of games they're going to do and all of that. Somewhere right now, there are 16, 17 people who don't have a clue how much their lives are getting ready to change. We don't even know their names. We know nothing about them. But the premiere is July 17th and 18th. By July 19th or 20th, we will know more than the CIA or FBI knows about it. We'll know everything because of the way people dig into these things. I can only imagine my season, as soon as they had all the cast reveals, I've seen y'all went in and immediately knew that Tommy and Christy knew each other. I wish I'd known that a little earlier, that Holly and Kat knew each other. Way too many people knowing each other in the House of Big Brother. I hope they don't have any of that this season. I want all newbies, and I want them to not have any previous connections, get them as different as you could possibly imagine. I will say I really like last season. I had such a disparity or such a range in ages, and I wish they had more of that more often. I was 30 years older than everyone else in the house. Last season, not so much. They spread out the ages a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for Big Brother USA as well, especially now that Big Brother Canada is over. And I will say, I didn't watch much of it because it's just too hard to watch down here. They make it too difficult to watch it from here in the States. I don't know why. I'd pay to join Global if they'd let me, but whatever. But I did see the results, and I don't want to. Yeah, sure. If you haven't seen it and you want to know who won, plug your ears for just a second because I'm getting ready to spoil it. I'm okay with Bailey winning it, but I didn't watch enough to really know the relationships and how things worked out. The reason I say that is only because unless it's me in the house, I'm probably not going to cheer for the people as much who've already had their chance, who come back as returning players. If everyone coming back as a returning player, that's one thing, and I'm fine with that. Otherwise, I'd almost soon see all new people come back into the house, just because if they bring me back after having already been in there, I will feel so much more comfortable and feel like I know so much more than everyone else in there. I do think it gives you a huge advantage in that house, and production sometimes gives even better advantages because they don't want to lose their star returning player too quickly, right? So sometimes they help them along. So with all that being said, I was glad to see someone win that wasn't a returning player. Nothing against Anthony and Spicy V. I've never met Anthony, but I've met Spicy V. Incredible. She's a great person, when I've talked to her, but I know she, and now I'm hearing there's some issues that people arguing and all that. It's just a game, guys. I got out of that house thinking there are 15 other people in that house. I'm going to try to be friends with each and every one of them. I don't care what happened inside that house. It's just a game, just like playing poker or Monopoly or anything else. Some people have grudges a little more than others do, but I wasn't going to do that. And I hope they get their stuff hashed out up there as well. All right. Let's see. What else do we have on here? Weird to see Cliff without his cowboy hat. Cindy, I thought about it. I really was tempted. It was sitting there as I walked out the door today. Said, do I wear my cowboy hat on a plane flying up to New York? I mean, I don't think it's like the people of Buffalo are going to chase me down like I'm Frankenstein's monster with torches and pitchforks and all that. But yeah, I thought, yeah, okay, I'll leave it at the house. So yeah, y'all can see me in all my glory. When I tried out for Big Brother, I showed up at the casting call wearing a cowboy hat because I assumed I knew what they were looking for. But then when I showed back up to do the kind of the follow-up where they actually did some video of me and everything else, I wore my cowboy hat. And I remember talking to the guys who were filming me and asking questions and all of that. And they're asking about my hat. And I said, yeah, Texas, of course I wear it. But I told them, I said, look, here's my hat. I'm not wearing it because, I'm missing hair or anything else. I'm just wearing it because I'm a Texan. And so they actually wanted to videotape me, some with my hat on and some with my hat off, I guess just to see what it looked like. While I was at the finals over in LA, we go over there. It's no big secret. We go over there for a week of additional tests and all kinds of stuff. At one point, they called and said, "Hey, Cliff, we need to come over and do a swimsuit photo of you, if you don't mind." Yeah, sure. Why? And so they came over to take a swimsuit shot, and I can only picture everyone else on my cast and every other season. They're trying to get all fancied up, Jack Matthews probably doing his hair all around and looking like Aquaman and all that. I'm just sitting there in a swimsuit saying, "Well, what do y'all want me to do?" And I think they gave me the option to wear a shirt or not wear a shirt. And I said, yeah, no, if I'm going to be on the show, I'm going to own who I am. I'm not going to try to hide anything. So unless y'all just are saying, we don't want you to wear a shirt, or we want you to wear a shirt, Cliff, which how horrible would that be? But no, I said, now I'll just be who I am. I don't need a shirt. I'm not embarrassed. So they said, that's fine. And so they got ready to take a few photos. And then I asked them, I said, all right, guys, would you like me to wear the cowboy hat while I got my swimsuit on? And they started laughing. I said, Cliff, that'd be really great if you do that. So I took a lot of photos with my cowboy hat on and I think a red, white, and blue swimsuit and doing my own poses and everything else and just acting as silly as possible, which was kind of weird doing it inside a hotel room with a bunch of 20 somethings, all with cameras and said, "Oh, that's great, Cliff. Can you turn this way?" It's not like I've had a lot of modeling in my career, but I did it that day, and I wasn't going to think twice about it. I'd like to think they got back up to wherever they look at all these pictures and stuff and saw that and said, "Yeah, if he's willing to play the game with us like that, then we'll get him on board." But yeah, no hat, so y'all are seeing me a little bit different as a result. Sorry, Buffalo. I'm just going to blend in with the locals. Now, I did bring the cowboy boots, but no hat. All right, let's see what else. Karen Hummer saying, "What about Nicole as a guest?" I would love to have Nicole as a guest, and maybe bring her new husband Brian in there as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to get Ovi on as a guest. I'd like to get a few people from some different seasons as well. I think that would be a lot of fun. We've got a guest coming up next Monday, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, and then Ma, I haven't forgotten about you. We're going to try to get Ma on here as well. We may have a spot for one or two. We'll see how it goes with the new season coming up and all that. Obviously, while Big Brother's going on, I'll probably pull back a little bit on guests and all, because we're going to be talking a whole lot of Big Brother instead. But we'll see. Yeah, I'd love to get Nicole on here. We were talking yesterday, wishing each other's moms happy Mother's Day and all that. And yeah, I think it'd be fun to get her on here, find out what married life is all about. I've seen their posts. Seems like they're having fun. I'm sure they are. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Karen. All right. Oh, who's it? Ma saying no live feeds until the second night. Yeah, I could see that. That may be one night. Even one night, so much happens on that first night. Now, for me, I feel like my first night was just spent just being relieved I didn't get booted out of the house, because it could have happened. I felt so bad for David. But my first night was just spent trying not to snore, not to alienate anyone, trying to remember everyone's first names. I think that Grateful Eight, the six shooters, whatever you want to call that big alliance, I think that formed probably the second or third night. It didn't form the first night, but it formed pretty quickly. The starting point, it started to form maybe even that first day, as Mickey and Jack teamed up with each other and then started trying to pick other athletic people that they thought would work well with them. But it wasn't really formalized for a couple of days. I knew it had formed at one point when I woke up the next morning and found out that Mickey and Sis and Christy, and I'm not sure who else, but at least those three had spent all night on the couch in the bathroom and started calling each other nicknames, just made up, Chip or whatever, made up fake names, and they were calling each other fake names. I thought, all right, if you're so tight that you're doing this with each other, y'all got to be working together. I knew I was in trouble as soon as that happened. Man, maybe I should have been in there. They would have hated that. They would have hated if I just had never gone to bed. But it is what it is. All right. Let's see what else. Colleen saying prefer June. Yeah, I'd rather have a June premiere, but it is what it is. Ma's eating Hot Pockets. That's not your first Hot Pocket, is it, Ma? Sounds pretty good. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I came straight from the airport, got set up. I'm filming this. I got a Cracker Barrel next door. Not Hot Pockets, but I can do me with some Cracker Barrel. So there's also like a Krusty Krab. Maybe it's not Krusty Krab. Maybe it's King Crab. Krusty Krab would be okay. Maybe not so much. Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. I'm going to do that as soon as I get through with the show itself. Cindy saying, did you see the Circle finale? No, Cindy, I'm so far behind. I watched it with Max AI and just the start of that. And then I just got rushed with other stuff with work and all that. So no, not yet, but it's on my list. I binged dumb stuff this weekend. We'll talk about that in just a second as well. But I definitely plan on watching the Circle, because so far so good. I've enjoyed it. All right. Let's see. What else do we have on here? There have been 3 in a row, but a total of 4 this season. So wacky. Andy W. Our immunity idols, I think you're talking about. Okay. I thought I'd seen 4 somewhere, but 3 in a row. Venus, Ed Brewer's talking about. I got to say, I know I don't know some of the conflict going on between Soda and Venus. Just like Big Brother Canada. I hope they work it out. But I applaud Venus. I didn't think she was going to last. I thought she was a little tone deaf in terms of the way she was coming across to other people and all that. I think she just figured that screw it. I'm just going to play my game. And if people don't like me, so be it. I'm going to try to do what I want to do. Kind of refreshing. I will say I wasn't particularly cheering for her at the beginning. Towards the end, I kind of admire her attitude in a lot of ways. She'll be interesting to talk to one of these days at some of these charity events or something else. I really want to see if maybe I can get her on this show one of these times. I don't know if she'd go on the show. I'd love to, because I'd love to find out what's the real Venus. Is the one who's kind of the the I know it all and y'all are just I'm the queen, and is that the real Venus, or is that just the way she played the game? It'd be fun to do. I need to look into that. I got a few folks from this season I'd love to get on the show. Ma saying Q has 0 vote violence written all over. I could see that. I absolutely could see that. Who would go to the fire making challenge, and who would do well in the fire making challenge? I think Charlie could do amazing. What if it's Charlie and Maria? I think both of them would be pretty good at fire making. The rest of them, I think Ben would do all right. I don't remember if they've shown him doing a lot of fire making and all that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see what else. I have all of this year's Survivor, but I haven't watched yet. All right, well, Karen, I'm sorry that I may have spoiled some things here or there. Hopefully not so much that you can't enjoy it. Did the other contestants know the people they were sending home had immunity idols? Yes and no. I think sometimes they suspected it, and some people maybe knew. Other times other times I know that no one really knew, at least based on what we see with the edit. So a little bit of everything. All right, Kennedy Franken. Hey, Kennedy, I don't know if I called you out earlier, but I'm glad to see you out there. All right, let's see. What else? Cliff, you can take 18F to Youngstown, New York, and go to Fort Niagara. Fort Niagara would be pretty cool to do. One season Amazing Race into Joseph Davis State Park. I need to do a little research. I was so quick getting in here. I'll do a little bit of that and check around. I don't think I'll have a whole lot of time for sightseeing. But, hey, I do the groundwork, come back again. So far, it's a pretty place. Nicer than Houston right now in terms of weather, at least right now. Sharon says pouring down at Houston, so kind of nice and sunny over here. All right, let's see. I just don't want Ricky and is it Caesar or Cesar? I can't remember at this point in time. Ma's saying, not because I have anything against him, but I don't like a steamroll. I get that. Because I always want to see people fight, and they've done so well throughout the whole thing. But for some reason, with Amazing Race, steamrolls don't bother me as much as other shows. I feel like they deserve it. They fought and they've done well every single episode to get where they are. So I don't have an issue with the person who's won most of the individual legs winning the final thing. You know what chaps me on Amazing Race that I just almost immediately will cheer against you? When people work together, not so much that they're following each other and doing something. Yeah, I understand that you're trying to help each other out because it may benefit you in the long run as well. But what chaps me a little bit is when someone comes up with an answer to a quiz or the order or something. Or in this season we had, for example, you had to redo the racetrack when they were going around in the race course, right? And the mother's son, she was having a hard time with it, and one of the other teams came over and showed her exactly how to do it. I don't like that. Solve the puzzles on your own. Don't let other people help you out. I wish they wouldn't let other people help you out. Those, when they do that, I kind of start cheering against them. But in terms of the two of them winning so much, I'm okay with it. But I get what you're saying, Ma. I absolutely do. All right, Karen saying, I don't think the mom-son team should have been eliminated since it wasn't their fault. They should have had a non-elimination leg. They spent so much time talking about elimination legs and that just this season, just like last season, we're not going to have any non-elimination legs. I feel like they almost talked themselves into a corner that created issues. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of unfair for those two because they lost the production team. I kind of feel like that's on the production team. But especially, even if they may be given all kinds of instructions that if you lose a team, you have to wait for them to show up, whatever. But it seems to me that once you show up at the next stop and there's other production people there and all of that, you should be allowed to keep on going. For them just to have to sit there for so long and it cost them the race, I felt for him. Especially, he was so hardcore, such a fan. what a tough way to go out. So yeah, I was disappointed in that as well. I think they should have been allowed to continue. They should, as soon as they got there, they should have somehow either been able to keep on going or everyone had to stop or something. I feel like there's something they could have done differently, but it is what it is. All right, let's see. How does one celebrate this day? National Frog Jumping Day? I don't know, Ma. Let's see. Beer. Oh, talk about going to Philly. All right, I'll let y'all have that conversation. All right, and a little football talk as well, perhaps. All right, what about the Big Brother Canada winner Ed mentioned? I don't know enough about Bailey to say one way or the other, Ed. From what I've heard, she played a pretty good game. I saw her final jury speech to the jury. She kind of owned it. She kind of jumped out there and seemed like she had a decent speech. So everything I was hearing was that Anthony was kind of just dominating, that everyone else were just kind of sheep around Anthony, and he really was taking the lead throughout most of the season. So I don't know, did Bailey get voted over Anthony because people were bitter towards Anthony? I've heard a little bit of that. I've heard that Spicy V may have been a little bitter. I think she thought maybe she and Anthony were going to go to the end, and Anthony was thinking maybe not quite so much. But yeah, I don't know exactly how it all panned out, but maybe now the season's over, I can go out there and watch it and not worry so much about it. Just watch what I can. I just hate not having those live feeds to know the true everything that went on inside that house. All right, let's see. A little more talk about Ma. Ma, you're a star right here tonight. All right, Terry Jr. is your house haunted. All right, we watched a movie, Michelle, that was it good? I don't know. It was different. It's called We Have a Ghost. And I can't remember if it's on Hulu or Netflix. I don't know. I get them all messed up. We Have a Ghost, about a family that moves into a house, and the youngest son ends up befriending a ghost, I guess is the best way to say it. Kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost, except a little more serious. And he ends up trying to help this ghost figure out what happened and help him move on to his next stage of unlife or whatever. It was okay. It maybe drug on a little more than I wanted, but it was entertaining. Hey, so if you haven't watched it, check out we have a ghost. It was one of the shows that we binged this weekend. We binged a lot of them. All right, someone has a ghost hunter friend, Michelle saying. What stories they would tell, right? All right, let's see. Watch Ghostbusters on the History Channel. All right, have you heard Australian survivors doing USA versus Australia? Bing Bong says that. I did not hear that. I did see a little blurb saying a new theme had been selected for the next season of Survivor. I saw that while I was on a plane, and I didn't have internet, so I couldn't go any further than that. But USA versus Australia, it's interesting. You know, they've had Americans play Survivor Australia before. I know Russell Hantz was over there. Sandra Diaz was over there. Russell Hantz not a big fan. Apparently, he and I talked one time, and he said, "Yeah, it's not real Survivor. They even give you toilet paper over there." I think Russell's more into the old school Survivor where there's limited food and you really rough it. And he felt like Survivor Australia was a little bit more about the production value and the strategy and not so much about having a hard existence while you're out there. It may have to do with the fact that I don't think Russell did real well his season competing against all those Aussies. But no, I hadn't heard that. That's going to be very interesting. So, yeah, I certainly would do that. I'd love, and I don't know they'll ever make it happen, I would love just to have a special, maybe it's not a full season of Big Brother, but if they want to do it, that's fine as well. Big Brother Canada versus USA. Maybe you don't even call it versus, because then you automatically set it up as two sides and you almost create alliances before the season ever starts. But just have a season where you have Americans and Canadians that are both competing together. Maybe you have alliances that form along your countries, the two countries. Maybe not so much. There's always going to be someone that feels like they're at the bottom of one of the two countries and is ready to flip on the other side, right? Or flip to the other side. I'd love to see that. But yeah, I'll check out a Survivor Australia. There is a lot of reality TV out there from other countries. It makes me really wish I spoke other languages at all or better. I mean, I can speak a little Spanish, even less Portuguese. I would love to be able to watch Big Brother Brazil, and I have watched it. It's just tough to keep up with. I saw that there's a Love Is Blind Brazil. That's what I need. It's one more reality show from another country. Circle every country in the world. I would love to be able to sit down and watch like Big Brother, not from Germany or the UK, the big places. I'd love to watch Big Brother from Croatia or from who does it? Some little Philippines or somewhere that I don't know as much about the culture, and see how they play the game of Big Brother. Would they play it differently? Are people maybe not as ruthless there, more ruthless? It would just be fun to see how other cultures handle a game like Big Brother if we had the chance. I'm telling you, just set up a reality TV channel, subtitles for the foreign shows, and 24 hours a day. I would never get any sleep whatsoever. All right, let's see. 7:45. We're going to get through this pretty quick. I do start to read through these comments. Would do some of this. All right, let's see. 4 more weeks. Is it 4 more weeks? So, I'll take y'all's word for it. But let's see. I wish they'd have live feeds first night just to observe who's clicking with you, etc. I agree, Chickadee Kennedy. It would be much better just because, so much happens on that first night. But we'll see. And when they say a 2-night premiere as well, that always makes me wonder what's going to happen during my season. I know my family was worried because they wanted to have a big viewing party, and we had a 2-night premiere, and they were really worried that maybe only 8 people were going to go into the house the first night and maybe do something, and then the second 8 people would come in the second night. And here's my family with this big viewing party planned on the first night, and then they don't even show me going into the house. I don't remember. Maybe Sharon can confirm. I'll ask her later if they ever told her that no, he is going to be on the first night. I don't know that they gave us any more information than anyone else, but yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be the case this season. It may just be they all get introduced. They go in the backyard. They do the first competition the first night, and then the second night, the winner of 4 different comps competes or something like they've done in these last couple of years. We'll see. All right, Tammy Flanagan saying, "Let me some chicken and dumplings from Cracker Barrel, but nothing here in San Diego." Chicken and dumplings is one of my go-to when I go to Cracker Barrel. Sounds good. I'm ready, guys. I'll be chowing down here in just a second. Chickadee King saying, "Have you watched The GOAT?" I've seen it advertised. I probably will, but now I don't even know for certain what channel, what streaming platform it's on. But yeah, I have seen the advertisement. I think is Omarosa on it. I think Omarosa may be one of the folks that's on it, along with a lot of other people. All right, Michelle Moore talks. Terry, are you watching Deal or No Deal Island? A lot of us are watching it. I'm so ready to see what happens. Deal or No Deal. They're right there at the end. Here's the thing: Deal or No Deal. They've been doing all of this work just to try to be the final person that gets to compete for the final prize winning. What if they play and the suitcase they end up with, the briefcase they end up with is $50 or something? It's possible. There's going to be a briefcase there that's $10 million or whatever, but there's a whole lot of briefcases that aren't $10 million. And I am sure the dealer or the banker will do something to make sure that whoever finishes up after this long season walks away with a decent amount of money. I don't know what happens if they pick all the high volume, high dollar ones right off the bat. That'd be kind of a flop if at the end they just walk away with $1,000 or something, right? It's possible. I mean, we see it happen on a regular show all the time. All that work just to get the chance to play, but there's always a chance you could win the $10 million. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the finale of Deal or No Deal Island as well. It's been a lot of strategy on that show that I hadn't counted on when I first started watching it. All right, let's see what else we have on here. Now I'll talk about a couple of things. Cliff, do you have let's see. I missed it. What does Cliff think of Aussie Survivor being Australian players versus America? We talked about that a little bit, Misfire. Hey, Misfire, I didn't call out your name earlier as well. Cliff, you should listen to the Goo Goo Dolls. Oh, I know the Goo Goo Dolls. When they come out, they were late 80s, maybe 90s, right? They were probably 90s. Yeah, I know the Goo Goo Dolls, maybe even a little bit later than that. So, yeah, I know that. All right, let's see. Someone had said something. Cliff, would you on Survivor? Matt Van Grimston's asking. Absolutely. All they got to do is call. That would be a lot of fun. I could go 29 days without eating a whole lot of rice. I don't need any Bourbon Street burger from Applebee's. So give me a coconut and then let me go out. I'd catch a few fish. I've done some fishing in my life. Now, they may not have a lot of bass fishing out in Fiji, but I have a feeling there's other fish I could catch. I'd be all right. I eat sushi. I chow down right there. I'd eat a lot of weird stuff if I had to when I was hungry. So yeah, I'd love to do Survivor, but they gotta call me. So we'll see. Miss Fire saying Team Kinsey on Survivor. Kinsey, I thought she was done a whole lot earlier, but she's still hanging in there. So she's doing well. All right, I'm skipping down through all these. Miss Fire saying, does Cliff follow Nicole's new Instagram page? I think so. I'm on a couple of hers. She seems like she's got a few pages. But yeah, I always want to see what Nicole's staying up to. All right, let's see. With all right, guys. There's so many comments. I know I'll not get to the end if I go through this. So I'm skipping a lot. If there's a question that I've missed, shoot it to me. But anyway, it looks like y'all are having y'all's conversations as well. Let me talk about a couple of deals. We talked about Amazing Race, the Big Brother shows, Survivor. It wasn't all about reality. Well, maybe it's still reality TV. Sharon and I watched some shows in between Mother's Day and college baseball and all. We watched some other shows that I got to throw y'all's direction just because I want to get y'all's comments on it, right? First of all, I realized that I saw a show that had a huge impact on me as a kid that Sharon never saw. And so we pulled it up. We found it on YouTube. Have y'all ever heard of a show? It's an ABC after school special called The Wave. WAVE, The Wave. It's based on a true story about a high school teacher in California who was trying to teach all about the Holocaust and wanted to teach the kids how something like that could have happened. And so he tries to, and I don't want to get all into it, but he basically tries to recreate some stuff and sees how these kids respond. A little cheesy, but I got to say, I remember when I watched it, I think it came out in the 80s. So I say as a kid, I was in college, high school at the time, but I remember it when it first came out, and it had a lot of impact on me then. And Sharon had never seen it, so we watched it. Not the greatest copy, is before high def TV and all of that. It certainly shows its age. But if you have not watched The Age, I think it's very appropriate in this day and age to watch it and see how easily people can they're in such a hurry to get on the bandwagon with other folks that sometimes you don't think things through. It's just, I think it's something that people pay attention to, should watch and pay attention to. So have y'all seen The Wave? If not, that's going to be my first recommendation of the evening is check it out. I think it's only an hour, probably. It's not long. It's after school. Those after school specials for those of you who maybe don't have quite as many years on you as I do. When we only had a few channels on TV, we would get home from school and you'd always have like Gilligan's Island and Leave It to Beaver on one or two of the channels, the Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, all that. But ABC would normally have like the afternoon movie that was a little more adult movies for people that were home. But every once in a while, they would have the after school special where it was a movie just for teenagers, kids to watch. And we all watched it. I always watched the after school special. We'd go back to school and talk about it the next day. The Wave was one of those. Amazing. I just watch The Wave. Check it out. It was fantastic. All right. The other one that we binged that I really wanted to talk about this week or tonight, Eurovision 2024 is now over. They have crowned the winner. We had so much fun watching all the contestants again this season. The finale was, I don't know, 21 different countries. There's 37 countries that compete. And at the very end, I think there were still 20 or something in the finals. Everyone from all these countries calls in. You can't vote for your country. You can vote for any country except your own. So you vote it's kind of like American Idol or something, right? So you vote for who you think the best song is, the best performer. But then every country has a panel of juries. And I guess these are like professional song people that vote on award points on who they think they did a best job. And so they had all of that. These Eurovision songs are so much fun because some of them are very serious. It's one person singing a ballad or playing the piano, very solemn and beautiful music, and shed a tear. It's such a great song. Others just take it so non-seriously and just they're having fun with it and doing silly stuff. And they had both kinds, and we had a blast watching them. So and it's long. There were 2 nights of semifinals. Then the final was Saturday night. So a lot of music being played. But for those of you who don't want to watch the whole thing, you can go out to YouTube and pull up, and I'll make a few suggestions for a few of the performers to watch. Check out Ireland has a performer by the name of Thug Bambi. Quite the character, quite the entertaining character. So check out Thug Bambi from Ireland. Check out from Croatia, a performer by the name of Baby Lasagna. Had a very, I don't know, I liked Baby Lasagna. It was a very catchy little tune. So check out Croatia's Eurovision 2024 song. The one that Sharon and I had more fun laughing about. And I'm telling you, go out to YouTube. I know y'all don't want to. Go out to YouTube and check out Finland Eurovision 2024. The performer's name is Windows 95 Man. M-A-N. Windows 95 Man. A song called No Rules. They did not take the competition seriously. They were out there having fun. We were laughing the whole way through. They were a blast to watch as well. So we had so much fun watching Eurovision. There was some scandals, some controversy as well. The Netherlands contestant got booted for something that happened backstage, kind of went after a photographer or journalist or something. Still don't know exactly what happened with that. Israel had a lot of controversy because people were wanting them not allowed to compete and other people pushing to compete, the whole political deal. So a lot going on because Israel was one of the contestants, the Netherlands not getting to compete, and just a whole lot of fun music to watch. And I will follow that up with my once-a-year recommendation. I probably recommend more than that. Will Ferrell's Eurovision Song of Fire and Dance, or I don't know what it's called. Netflix or one of the platforms has it, but just Will Ferrell Eurovision. Apparently, he is a huge fan as well. Will, you and me work together on that one. He was on this. I laugh every time I see it. I'm hot and cold on Will Ferrell. Sometimes I love his shows. Sometimes not so much. I loved him in Old School. I love Eurovision, one of my favorites. And even though it's a little bit, they're kind of having fun with all of Eurovision. They have a lot of the past performers from Eurovision. And as over the top as the performances are in that movie, they're really not over the top compared to real Eurovision performances, as you'll see. So, that's going to be a recommendation for the evening. Boss Hog saying, go check out Will Ferrell's Eurovision. I just laugh all the way through. Anchorman, the Talladega Nights. There's others that are funny. Eurovision, my favorite Will Ferrell, probably of all he's done. I just love it. So, we watched a lot of Eurovision. Sharon probably was thinking a little too much Eurovision watching, but there were some good ones, and there really are. Ukraine was the girl singing it. She's up on a ledge, and it looks like fireworks, but it's actually, I guess, like missiles coming down. All the stuff that's going on with them, and she's kind of up there fighting the good fight. And it's interesting seeing all these different countries and what they want to send as a message to everyone else in Europe. So check out who's this far saying Step Brothers. And that's another one. Check out Eurovision. It was fantastic. All right, guys. What else do we have going on? It's 7:57. I think it's probably about time. What else did I miss out on? The big one. I would have been in trouble if I hadn't mentioned this. I mentioned at the very beginning, we're going to have a special guest on next week. And I am so happy for this particular guest because next Monday, coming on Cliff Notes Live, Angie Hung. For those of you who do not know Angie lives up in Calgary. I met Angie briefly when Kat and Nicole and myself went up there to do a little meet and greet right after our season. I wish I'd known Angie a little bit better at the time because it was so loud. We didn't get a chance to talk as much as I would have liked. Incredible person. Angie has more stories. She knows Tim Rice, Rice of Jesus Christ Superstar, Joseph's Amazing Technicolor raincoat, coat, Spice Girls, huge fan, actor. Angie's got a lot of stories, and I have a blast every time I get a chance to talk to Angie. So we're gonna have Angie on next Monday. She's got a little break from some stuff she's doing, so we're gonna bring her on here. Who knows which direction those stories are gonna go because she's got a lot of She knows everyone. Yeah, it's incredible her experiences. So we're gonna be talking to Angie next week. I'm really looking forward to it. So bring your questions, not for me, but I'll pass them on to Angie. But yeah, we're gonna get Angie on here and talk a little bit. We'll still talk reality TV, but we'll be talking a little Angie Hung TV as well. It's gonna be fun, guys. So there you go with that. All right, guys. I think with that, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna run next door and eat me some. Maybe I'll go hit Krusty Krab and little Cracker Barrel as well. I can do it. I practice for Survivor. It's not the bourbon burger, but hey, you gotta make do while you're up here in Buffalo, New York. Really, I feel like I'm a bit of a traitor if I don't eat anything but Buffalo Wild Wings up here, right? I mean, it's in the name. They got to be good, right? We'll see. All right, guys. Y'all have a fantastic Monday. I will be back same time, same bat channel next Monday. Back from the house, back with the cowboy hat on. So we'll be back to regular rhythms next week, next Monday with Angie on as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, guys, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the thumbs up is always appreciated. But even more than that, y'all just have a fantastic next week and bring on the reality TV. It's going to be a lot of fun. With that, SKD143, cheers, my friends. Y'all have a great evening. I will talk to y'all next Monday. If I don't talk to you before then, you never know. I may have that macaroni and cheese ice cream one of these days. Y'all have a good one, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Cheers, my friends. Bye.